Welcome to Before Floor, the pregame edition of Five on the Floor, brought to you by the Five Reasons Sports Network. I'm your host, Jonathan, aka Three Piece Combo. I'm joined by Gad. The Miami Heat are taking on the New York Knicks in Game 5 in what could be a clinching game for the Heat going back to the Eastern Conference Finals, which is crazy to say given everything that this team has gone through this season. For us to still be one of the last four remaining teams, it shows to really what this team is made of and the DNA that's within this team from top to bottom, right? Because, I mean, I was willing to give up on this team. I was one of the people that were honestly saying that, hey, get that 14th pick and try to boost that team, and you can maybe trade that pick, right? And I was dead ass wrong. Like, I will definitely admit that. But hey, in Miami Heat, like I said, they're one game away from getting to the Eastern Conference Finals. But in the words of late great Kobe Bryant, job is not done. Job is not done. We still have to play tonight's game. We still have to close it out. The good thing is we don't have Doc Rivers, who's blown 4-3-1 leads. We've got Coach Spo, who still does a good job with that. But as always, guys, if you're joining us live, make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe to the channel. Follow us on all our social media. That's Twitter specifically and Instagram, but also Facebook. Make sure you guys follow us on that as well. And we want to thank our primary sponsor of the pregame show, which is Mark Brown PA. So make sure you guys head over to markbrownpa.com. That's marcbrownpa.com, or give him a call, 954-866-8513. He's based out of South Florida. He'll give you a free consultation, and he'll take care of all your real estate lawyer thing. If you have any estate planning, make sure all your assets go to the right people if something happens to you. We live in a crazy world. If anything happens, make sure your assets, your house, your cars, your money doesn't go to the government. Make sure it goes to your family that you love and care about. So like I said, go to markbrownpa.com or give him a call, 954-866-8513. We'll talk to you guys about Prize Picks in a couple minutes, but that's the promo code for that is 5 FIVE. That matches your initial deposit up to $100. That's give you a free $100, guys, and that's 20 free plays that you can use for pretty much a quarter of a season. You can use it all playoffs. You can even use it for MMA. You can use it for football, anything. All right, Dolphin season coming up soon. But guys, make sure you guys check that out. But Gad, we're here before the game of the Knicks versus the Miami Heat. Brian Finesca posted some videos of Jimmy Butler and some other players going through a pregame, and Jimmy was taking some crazy shots and hitting them, and he's just in a groove right now. You can tell that he's in that flow state where he can get to what spot where he can get to wherever spot he wants to and kind of get to the shot that he wants to. I mean, he's shown, doesn't matter who's defending him, whether it's one of the greater defenders, and I'm not going to say quote because obviously Drew is a great defender, but I mean, when compared to what Jimmy Butler did to him, he did not look like a great defender. The craziest people are the ones that talk crap when they're down, and when you're down by 16 and then you're still down 6 with a couple minutes left to go in what a game, that could be a clinching game against the Bucks on the road, you're a crazy man, Jimmy Butler. But let's get to tonight's game. What are some things that you saw from last game that you think the Heat maybe need to make a little bit of adjustments? Because it was a very good game, but it was close throughout most of it. So the Knicks were doing a good job keeping it close, but the Heat did a really good job of every time it became a two-possession game, hitting a three-point shot or getting an offensive rebound in that fourth quarter where you had 5 extra possessions. The Heat did a good job in the margins, making sure that we beat the Knicks. What are some things that you saw that maybe need to change coming into tonight's game?
I think there were some moments last game where the Knicks were really just trying to give the game away to the Heat, right? Like they, in terms of effort, in terms of sloppy play, bad IQ, bad shot selection, all that stuff, the Knicks were doing this, that, and the other in order to lose that game. And the Heat, although they were comfortable keeping the Knicks at bay, I don't think anyone was really worried with the lead because they're always 3 to 4 possessions up, that 5 to 8 point range. But I don't think you can do that tonight because the Knicks, whether they have that quit in them or they don't, they have their backs up against the wall tonight, and they're at home in a arena at Madison Square Garden where, yes, that is going to be a very antsy fan base tonight, but at the same time, if the Knicks do give them a reason to cheer, they will go crazy and they will spark a run. So my thing for tonight's game relative to what they did last game, I think you need to shoot the ball a little bit better because you don't want to play with your food. You don't want to play with your food in this series. You don't want to play with your food in this game. Get this game done. Break their spirits early. All that hustle, all that grit, all that hard work that they were doing in the fourth quarter, bring that in the first and second quarter of this game. And I think the Heat should win comfortably, but you want to put this team away early. Don't let the Knicks try to get a crazy run where then Obi Toppin ends up hitting a 3 and all this other stuff. Jimmy Butler, make your statement early, and continue to make it throughout the rest of the game and put these dudes to sleep, because the Heat are the better team. Jimmy's the best player. I don't think anything is going to change that for the rest of the series, but you don't want to give them a chance to do that.
Yeah, and this is where teams get desperate, and this is where, guys that typically don't hit those shots, like you said, Obi Toppin, right, will come and hit an extra couple shots and swing the game. And that's really what it's about. It's about when those shots are being made in the game, because it's the timeliness. You can hit a three, but if it's timely to cut the lead down, that's when you really want to make sure you're hitting those shots. When you're, I can't remember who said it is, it's spurt ability. I remember hearing it from 2K. But, that spurt ability where teams go on runs and you go on runs, right? You want to make sure that you're allowing yourself to achieve the best thing. And with the New York Knicks being down 3-1, they're at home tonight. Like you said, Gad, that home crowd is going to be pumping. Obviously, MSG is Kaseya Center North, but, we'll still have some good representation up there. Miami's going to need to drown out and take the crowd out of the game as well, and not allow them to get the momentum going, because they have some tough shot makers. I mean, RJ Barrett isn't the best, most efficient guy, but he can make some tough shots. We all know what Jalen Brunson can do to you. So I'm not sure how that ankle is coming off of last game, but he should be able to find play on it. But let's get into the adjustments for Miami, because this was a game where Jimmy Butler didn't necessarily go nuclear, although his numbers might suggest otherwise. But what are you expecting from Jimmy Butler tonight? Do you expect him to be more assertive in getting his bucket, or do you think he just kind of reads the game and allows to come to him, and then when fourth quarter comes along, if it's needed, it's Jimmy Bucket's time?
Yeah, I think it's going to be the latter, because what you've seen from Jimmy in this series is you don't need supernova Jimmy. You don't need crazy Jimmy. You need make the right play Jimmy. And I think for the most part, he's done that. There were some moments last game where it really did feel like he was coasting a little bit. But I think you're just going to get good playmaker Jimmy. You're going to see not a LeBron-esque performance, but in the sense that they both really prioritize making the right play as opposed to getting their own numbers. I think you're going to see that from Jimmy tonight, especially because the role players, at least in my opinion, have really shown you that they are kind of comfortable taking that extra step, even on the road. You've seen big games from Gabe. You've seen big games from Max. You've seen big games from Kyle, even from Duncan on the road in Milwaukee before. So, and Caleb's been a constant the entire playoffs, really. So I think the confidence that the rest of the team has instilled, or that Jimmy might have for the rest of the guys, might lead him to really be like, okay, I can be Superman, I can be Batman in these moments, but I got 7 Robins over there that are ready to go finish the job too. So I think you're going to see Jimmy just take what the defense gives him. They throw doubles early, they start showing help, rotate the defense, pre-rotate and all that good stuff. Jimmy's going to kick it to the right guy. And if they're doing single coverage, Jimmy's probably going to foul that guy out of the game. So I'm really comfortable with what we're going to be, or I'm comfortable with what I expect from Jimmy tonight. I don't think it's going to be anything crazy. I would love for it to be something crazy and make another statement, but I feel confident Jimmy's going to be able to deliver a great performance to win us the game.
Yeah, I think when game 2 was coming to a close and you saw him smiling, waving at the crowd, this is the position that we expected to come back to New York in. Up 3-1, 2 games in a row. First game being a blowout. Knicks tried to make it a dogfight in the second game, but Miami was able to defend home court. And still, thus far, Miami is 4-0 at home. So that's something to keep track of, where people talk about the weak Miami Heat crowd, but hey, we're undefeated at home right now. I'm not sure what other teams are in the playoffs are still. Maybe the Nuggets are, but outside of that, not sure who else are undefeated at home. But let's get into the prize picks for today. And the prize picks, obviously, guys, you want to make sure you use that promo code 5, right? So if you're going to be gambling some money, make sure you maximize your money. Double your deposit up to $100 using the promo code 5. And that way, that's up to 20 free plays. The cool thing about prize picks, it's daily fantasy. So it's not, you don't have to worry about your players getting hurt. You don't have to worry about drafting somebody and then worrying about what happens to them later in the season. You know what you're getting. You're playing for today. All you do is you pick some points or rebounds or assists, and you go over and under. So we'll actually show you what we got here. But before we get into the prize picks, I want to show some love to the people in the comments. Tiffel, we are actually a little early tonight just because we got a little bit of stuff going on a little bit later. Got class and guys got some stuff to do as well. Soma Game Cat Butler is going to feed off that MSG energy. I do agree with you. I do think that Jimmy Butler is at sometimes, let's say when there's key swing moments, the Knicks start making a run, Jimmy Butler is going to have to make his imprint. And I really don't know who can stop him at this point, because he's shown no matter who's defending him, he's taking it out. Adrian Sierra joining us from Melbourne. I appreciate you joining us. My cousin lives out there, so hope you're doing well. Else and John Kennedy saying Heat in 5. Nelson Cruz saying early. Appreciate you guys. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe as well. But let's get into tonight's Prize Picks, Gad. Is there anybody in specific that you're wanting to look at?
I'm gonna say fire up Kyle Lowry's numbers. I'm very interested in those for tonight.
That is a good point. They have him at 10.5 points, 9 field goals made, or 4 field goals made, assists. I don't think they have assists listed. No, it's just points and then points plus rebounds or points plus assists. But they have him at 10.5 points. Sorry,
points plus assists. I'll go over 14.5. I have been very vocal about not being a fan of Kyle Lowry in terms of his tenure in Miami. And I have shut the hell up these playoffs because he has done a really, really good job, completely in control of the game, making impact on both ends, not super consistently defensively, but you're not expecting that at this point. I think what he's been able to do in terms of turning the bench unit, which was objectively speaking undermanned almost the entire season, turning that into maybe the best bench unit in the playoffs so far, like just doing an absolutely incredible job. So shout out to Kyle Lowry. I'm taking the over on his points and assists tonight. I expect him to be in control in this type of environment. I expect him to play pretty well in this type of game. And listen, man, like he's been impressive. And what he's been able to do for this bench, I think has really changed my opinion on what this team can accomplish come playoff time, because what he's done has been unprecedented, at least for me. And I'm very happy to say that I was completely wrong. And real season Kyle Lowry is showing up in a big way. I'm rocking with that tonight.
Yeah, that's I'm right there with you. I mean, I've been a guy that's held a grudge from Kyle Lowry since he hit the half court shot against the Miami Heat in that series where that swung the game and allowed them to pick up the series win. But I'm looking at Jimmy Butler and I'm looking for his last 10, 3.7 rebounds, 8 assists. They have his rebounds and assists at 12. That's a little high, but I do like his assists at 6. I do feel like that he's going to definitely, like you said, read the game, and he had double-digit assists. He actually looked at Bam a lot more last game, which is something that we really didn't see too much, like a two-man game from Jimmy Butler and Bam, where Bam is like the cutting guy and Jimmy's working out of the post, drawing help. We also saw Jimmy Butler posting up, and whenever they send that strong side help, you'd have Max Strus on that side, so he would just kick it out to Max Strus or whoever the available shooter was, and they would just take that three right there. Scott Foster is the ref. I don't think he's the ref, right?
No, that photo circulating, I'm pretty sure was photoshopped from whoever it was that made it, but I'm pretty sure it's John Goebel, who actually is a Miami Beach native. So yeah. Well, we got 2 refs from Florida today, but hopefully it doesn't matter. I just want to see a good officiated game. I don't care if they're in favor of anyone. I just want to see it be fair, because we've seen some piss poor officiating for this series both ways.
Yeah, I don't foresee this, like you said. I just want to see a fairly officiated game, because Miami doesn't need the refs to beat the Knicks. Like, as we see, the Knicks need the refs to beat Miami, and for Miami to not have Jimmy Butler as well. Looking at some other stats, is Max Strus, they have him at 7 field goals attempted. Do you like more than that? Or never mind, 7 3-point shots attempted. Let's not go with that. But I saw Gabe Vincent, I think, has 2.5 points for his first 6 minutes. I do like that.
First 6. That's interesting.
Yeah,
because part of me thinks the way that he started the last couple games, he might not be the most confident early on, because he has objectively shot the ball very poorly over the last couple of games, right. And I think he's kind of understood that and toned down some of the shot selection, because it was really bad to start the series, although some of the shots were going in. So I'm not sure if I expect him to come out guns blazing, at least tonight.
That's fair. Let's see what else you have for first half. Let's see what we have for Bam Adebayo. They have him at 8.5 rebounds. You think he gets more than the half block shots or goes above the 17 points?
Ooh, block shots is interesting.
Because he had a couple of potential blocks last game, I believe.
Yeah, he's been really close on a lot of them. I will go with the points. I think Bam, at least what he showed you last game, he looked a lot more comfortable And it wasn't the craziest point total. Correct me if I'm wrong. I think he had like 22 or something like that.
Yep, that's
but
right.
It felt like it really came in bunches, and the Knicks did not have an answer for it. So I think Bam, at least I would probably take Bam first half points tonight, which kind of sounds weird to say. I don't know what that line would be at. If it's at like 9.5, I think I would take Bam. It felt like they were making it a point to get him involved early on. And then I think as the game progresses, you're probably going to end up seeing more Jimmy Butler time. But I'll rock with Bam points in the first half. 8.5, I will take
in
that.
the first half. So I do like that because, like you said, I think the first half he had a majority of those points. Was it 16 of the 22 in the first half, I believe? So 8.5 first half points is a good one there. Let's look at some Knicks players and see what they have as far as they go, because I think we might have some interesting opportunities with the Knicks players. So Jalen Brunson is a free throw machine. I'm curious what his free throws are. 5 free throws made. Do you think he gets to the line at least 3 times?
Oh, that's such a tough thing.
That's a good number.
He's also a little bit of an and one merchant because he's always finishing through contact. That's tough though. Free throws made is a tough one for me. I don't know if I can rely on that. What's Randall's at? Like Randall's numbers as a whole.
23.5 points, 9 rebounds.
That's a lot. That's a lot of points for Julius
That is
Randle.
a lot of points. I'm curious what his field goal attempted. Do you think he attempts more than 18.5?
I don't think so, honestly. I think they're going to try to play some balanced basketball. And there's also some moments where Randall gets sassy and just ends up not taking shots. So I will take the under on the 18.5 field goal attempts, actually.
Okay, fair. So, guys, the great thing about this is with the flex play, as you guys see, even if you get 3 of them right, you still win some money. So make sure you use that promo code 5. Make sure you use the flex play so that way you maximize your money. Let's get into predictions, Gad. I'll start us off and you can close this out. I think Miami gets it done tonight. I do think that the Knicks will give them a good run. I can see the Knicks doing something which you said last game, like in the second quarter, getting a lead or starting to get some momentum. But I think when it comes to the second half, Miami is really going to close it out. We're doing a really good job rebounding the ball, which is something that I'm very surprised with. So look for New York to try to actually bounce back from that because they're going to make that a point of emphasis. So Miami's going to have to fight extra hard on the rebounds to, I think, get the win tonight. I think offensive rebound will really be Ron Baker coming in with the thing quickly out again. So we knew he was doubtful, but now he's out. But I think with the offensive rebound, whoever is able to make the most second chance opportunities is going to win tonight's game. Gad, how are you feeling about this one?
So I think I agree. I think the Knicks are going to come out and make not a run, but they're going to start confident, right? They're going to start full energy, full pedal to the metal. They're going to go hard from the beginning of the game. I think I'll say like mid second quarter, the Heat, if they withstand that early run from the Knicks, I wouldn't be surprised if at some point the Heat were down like 6 or 8. If they withstand that early run from the Knicks, I think from that point on, the Heat are blowing the doors off the Knicks, and they could probably break their spirit come halftime. I think from the mid-second quarter and on, the Heat will be decisively better than the Knicks and ultimately win the game by, I'll say, double digits, honestly. My thing is, I think if the Knicks, one, if it's a close game, I'm taking the Heat. But 2, I think the Knicks, from what I've seen in terms of what's supposedly going on in the locker room and some of the body language that they had on the floor and all this other good stuff, and Jalen Brunson not really being 100%, all this stuff, it feels like a culmination of things could go. If they go bad, they're going to go horribly for the Knicks. And I think it could be a slippery slope because this feels like a Heat team, at least in terms of the way that they handled media and the way that they've been playing on the floor. They feel like a shark who now smells blood. Like they see that thing, they can really, really take advantage of this opportunity here. So I think the Heat ultimately pull it out, a decisive win that is, I think it's going to be a good night for the Heat fan base, if I'm being honest with you. And hopefully the Florida Panthers get that win too. Shout out to them. Shout out to the Cats. But rolling with the Heat tonight, I think this is going to be a statement ending from Jimmy Butler. And I'm wildly excited to watch this game, man. Like, if we can do Heat in 5 against the Knicks when they were favored and they had home court, whew. Oh, it's going to be a fun week on social media. And I really, really hope we get the opportunity to do that together.
Riding the high of beating the number 1 seed and then beating the Knicks. And, whether it's Boston or whether it's Philadelphia, and I personally do think, regardless of who it is, it's going to be a very tough matchup. You have guys that can match up with Jimmy well. You guys have that, or Embiid is going to be really tough for us to match up with, right? But these first two series has just been so satisfying as a fan to knock off the number one seed in the league. And Giannis, where this team was coming off of losing a play-in game, falling to the 8th seed, having to play the number one seed in Giannis, and then knocking him out in 5, having Jimmy Butler do what he did, 2 straight comebacks to wins game 4 and 5, and then to do what we did in this series and have only one close game with the Knicks where they won, and it's being Jimmy Butler being out and a lot of other things with that one. This team has just really solidified everything that they worked all season. Coach Spo said it. They found the beauty in the struggle and in the grind this season, and it's all paying off right now. So hopefully, like you said, Gad, tonight's a good night for Heat fans. Make sure you guys like the video. Make sure you guys subscribe. Drop your predictions, and some GameCat, some extra rest before the next series would be really nice. We know that, an ankle takes extra time to recover, so Jimmy might be at 90%, but if you can get him at 100%, that's better. And same thing with Bam's hamstring and shoulder. We still know those are some things as well. So the team getting extra rest, especially in a playoff sprint where you're going for the 16 games as fast as you can only mean good things. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure you guys, like I said, follow us on all social media. Drop your like, drop your predictions as well, and we appreciate you guys. Let's go Heat.
All right. Thank you to Gad and Jonathan, and welcome to the 5 Reasons Pregame Show. Before we go, we want to show you a little bit of what the Brian Fonseca is recording there at Madison Square Garden, a little bit of the warm-up for the Miami Heat before this Game 5 of the series. Here we go. All right, and that was a little bit of the warm up today for the Miami Heat. The Heat trying to get to the conference finals for the third time in the last 4 seasons. If they beat the New York Knicks tonight, they will win this series in 5. If not, they'll be back in Miami for Game 6 of this series, and we're gonna have all that coverage here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Thank you very much for watching. Be ready. We're gonna be doing a playback live during the game. Also, as soon as the game is over, come back here for the live post-game show. We're gonna be having some fun here with the post-game show with the 5 on the floor guys. Jose, hoy es el día. Hopefully today's the day, and the Miami Heat can make it again to the Eastern Conference Finals, and we'll see if it's against the Celtics or against the Philadelphia 76ers, who are winning the series 3-2. Have a good night. Enjoy the game, and we will see you later here on the 5 Reasons YouTube channel. Bye-bye.